I know why. Hello everyone, it's bathrobe time. Because it's freaking cold in here. I can't see, I have to put it down a bit. Just a tiny bit, maybe it was too much. Like this. It's 14.6 degrees in here Celsius. It's freezing. I don't need heat. There would be an electric heater. We're not doing this. And when you're thinking he's a cheapskate, why doesn't he heat up the room? There is no heat in here. This house was operated because with the reason that the heat comes from downstairs, but since we want the heat downstairs, we blocked everything off, and now it's cold in here. Hello, Mark. Hey, Photostorm. Kevin is here. Tom and Groam. How? Any news on your, what was it? ID4, ID5 GTX? I'm not good with remembering stuff. Any news there? Did you hear anything? Are you in the doghouse? No, we just don't. I'm up here when I edit the video and when I do the live stream. Everything else, there's no one up here. So why would I heat up a room for an hour now, or when I edit for 2 hours or so? Just a waste. Cheapskate here as always. Yes, we're talking today why I'm sad. I'm sad for a few days. Patreons and members, YouTube members already know for a few days. They know since Thursday. We go through some news. I haven't looked yet, I'm sorry. And then my ID5 started production this week. That's awesome. So you got a motor. That's good. Go for Steve. Steve Holt. Install heating seat. Like I said, I would have electric heating here, but 14 degrees, I'm still okay. I can deal with it. I drove the MG4 today. I know what cold means. We're gonna talk about the MG4 that I have since Friday, and today I did a winter endurance test. I drove for 6.5 hours, including charging, and then you have to guess how many kilometers did I drive in the 6.5 hours. And who guesses it right, not perfectly, it doesn't have to be on the kilometer, but in that area, gets a hey yeah. Still no news from ID5 production, no fin visible via commission number. You can do that? Where do we do that? Where do we go so you can see maybe your VIN when you put in your commission number? I have a commission number, but I also don't have a VIN. 375 kilometers, woo, in 6.5 hours. So I was full when I started today with the MG4. Drove, charged, drove. I charged 3 times, yes, and I arrived at home with 34% or so in 6.5 hours with the MG4 standard 50 kilowatt hour battery. I preheated the car at home. I preheated the battery at home. Via Nadine. I have no idea. So you know someone. And I didn't drive too fast because the consumption was so high. Tom got it right. And Linus was extremely close. It was 450 kilometers in 6.5 hours. That's not amazing. But we talk about all the things that I seen. Okay, with charging. I thought without charging. So I went away this morning at 6:30 and came back at 2. Am I right? No. 6:40. Yeah, I came home at 2, but I filmed, so that's not fair to include filming. So my ID3 decided to go full Christmas tree on the dashboard today, then refuses to reverse, but after a shutdown, it seems okay. Hopefully it's just a random blip. Yeah, that's always fun. I never had that since the first 3 months with a lot of stuff. Then we talk about what's happening this week, what happened last week, and we talk about the main topic, why I'm sad. But first we're gonna go through some news, and then we'll see what's happening. Okay, I haven't looked through. I haven't done anything. I'm a lazy bastard. So I'm going through with you fast. I saw something with Volkswagen has a Chinese platform, a smaller platform. Volkswagen APP 550 electric motor bottleneck spreads in Europe. Yeah, that because when there's a delivery problem, of course, everything is affected. What else? Nothing. We had that last week. We already did that. Then let's look Germany. Ooh, battery swap in 10 minutes. Yeah, that's it for China. Small battery for the #3. In the first test, the test was already a while ago. There's nothing there. How about charging? What do we have here? Anything charging news? Ionity test. What is that? Ionity passport, 20 cent for 49 cent per kilowatt hour at Ionity when you pay 20 euros. That's okay at Ionity. And I charge mostly at Ionity because the charger is in Passau. That's pretty good. Huh. I have to look at that. That's pretty good. And let's look at the Ionity map at all. Is there anything new? Let's look. Portugal, Spain, still a lot. France. Ooh, there's a lot going on here. There's at least one more. And it's still not done. Down here, what's in Germany? What's in my area? The same. Up here. Yeah, we still need one here. And this is still not online. Damn it. And what's going on up here? Let's look Norway and Oslo. Sweden. This is getting better, but not fully. And Italy. Ooh, one is broken. Do construction. We have to say for so many chargers, it's interesting that just one is closed. Because there's no construction in the winter. That's it. Come on, Chris, get with the program. You said because you ordered an ID7 instead of an EV6 GT. That's good. That's really good. Ordered in September. Great. Maybe mine is in production soon too. Ordered October 5th. You are sad. We did that. New stations, Netherlands coming. Cool. I've watched a GTI time on Volkswagen News YouTube. The chat seems to suggest they're already testing the ID2, which is surprising. No, it's not surprising at all. Tests are done a long time before the car actually comes out. So usually they test, if there's new hardware, they test it under the surface of a different car. Nice to see Chris back in the ID Drivers Club interview. Yeah, I didn't know that this was online. Nobody told me. And I can't watch it. It's just weird. It was a weird environment, and then half Bavarian, half German, and yes. But I was very, very glad to do it. Yannick, the one that I did the interview with me, is a very good, very amazing person, and he's always helping me out. He's the one that I am in contact with most of the time. I would say 3-4 times a week when it comes to ID7 software updates or everything. He knows almost everything, or he knows other people and asks them. He's my to-go guy. And he will be at the ID7 delivery, and they will film me and film my first drive with it and all of this. So I'm excited about that, to see him Yes, but let's talk about what happened this week, what's happening next week, and then we get to the main story of today. 95 people are here. Should we do a little like game before we start? I think we should. If you're new here, we do a like game. We try to get 100 likes in the live stream, which is hard. I will, and since nobody is pressing like themselves, I will count down and then everyone is pressing the like button at the same time, because that's very, very interesting and fun. So let's do that. 3. Come on, eyes are in the way and the camera takes the eyes for focus. 2, 1, and like. Yes, ID2 is a new platform, so indeed testing long before it comes out. They only film it for insurance reasons. Huh? Because I might complain. That's good. We are at 17. That can't be it. Come on, you can all press the like button. It's so much fun. Nobody likes me today. 33. Now I'm even more sad. Chris Moore said, what do you think of the picture? I have a service where I can get stock video footage, pictures, music, graphics, transitions, video effects and all of this. And they also had this, I put in emoji sad, and this is what came up, and I said, that's perfect. I mean, it's like a guy, it looks so depressed. 56 likes, that's okay for 95 people watching, so 40 people were like, no, I'm not pressing that. It's alright. I pressed the button 50 times, but only got 1 out of it. It's so weird. Cars take a long time to develop, that's true. So if they plan to have the car available in the next few years, they'll be testing anything they can test, even if the car doesn't look like an ID2 yet. Correct. 57 likes, thank you very much. So, let's talk about what happened last week. Last week was fun. No Finnegan, no 100 likes. Finnegan is still at my parents'. He's going to be there at least till Christmas, unless they do something. My parents are a bit allergic to his fur. Not so much all the time, but in the winter seasons he doesn't lose any hair or fur in airports. Since he doesn't lose anything, they're fine with him, and he's very happy there. That's the most important thing. He's never alone here. When we're at work, he's alone a few hours and everything, and he wants to go out. He wants to go out the door, and we're not, and a lot of this stuff. Hi everyone, why is he sad? We're coming to that later. First, okay, what happened this week? Finally this week, after 3 weeks, I got a press car. Again, it was the Kia EV6 GT. You already saw 2 videos, and 1 video is still coming tomorrow. Wait, the stream isn't an airport? Huh? I only got the car for, well, I had it for 2 days, but I could test it for 1 day. I got it on Tuesday, and Thursday got picked up. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, the EV6 GT is normally 99.99999% of cars that come to me, press cars that are delivered or picked up, arrive with a driver. So somebody is driving the car here. It's just the cheapest. So you only have to, yes, you get a lot of miles on the car, but you only pay one person to drive the car here. I remember which car came? I think the Volvo C40, the Mercedes EQA, and now the Kia EV6 GT came with a truck. So it wasn't driven here. It came with a truck, got offloaded from the truck, was of course perfectly clean, fully charged, wasn't moved or anything, and got picked up by a truck as well. So it wasn't driven except for by me, and it was a lot of fun. 430 kilowatt, 585 horsepower, a bit of a stiffer suspension, extra button to preheat the battery to get the full power. When you don't do that, I've noticed you only get 415 kilowatt. So what is that, 550 or something horsepower? If you want the last little thing, you have to preheat the battery, especially now in the winter. I drove it for those 2 days. I drove to work, to work and home two times, and then that one day I did the range test, I did a little driving test, acceleration, and I did another video where I just talk in front of it. A driver drives the car to you. How does he go back? He goes back by train. And the same thing then in reverse, the people come by train to Passau and then pick up the car and drive home. The owner of the restaurant in our village wanted to cancel his Taycan lease renewal for an EV6 GT, but they would not cancel. I think the Taycan is still, I don't know how I never drove a Taycan, so I don't know what the difference is, but I'm guessing it has more power. Yeah, the GT was fun. Again, it has stiffer suspension. It's a bit more sporty, but it's not as sporty and stiff as I thought it would be. So the Neo ET5, was it? Yeah, that I had was way more sporty suspension and less comfortable. The GT is less comfortable than the normal version, but still okay. Acceleration, of course, is amazing, but very interestingly, when you use the normal drive modes, you have Eco, normal and sport. When you use those three drive modes, it behaves very, very similarly to the normal all-wheel drive. It's totally fine, all good. Then you press the GT button and it's... And for whatever reason, Kia decided when you use the GT drive mode, then stability control and that the wheels can spin is off. So you get spinning wheels the whole time. So when you accelerate, when you go into a corner and floor it, you get this. I didn't do that. I'm way too scared and I don't want to damage anything. That I drove while very slowly with 5-10 kilometers and floored it in a corner and the wheels spun, but you cannot see it in the video. I filmed it, but you can't see it. It felt very exciting to me, but it doesn't look like it. But there's a My Drive mode that you can do, which is not in any other Kia. It's in the new Hyundai Kona and in the new Kia EV9. That's the new software. But this GT had the old software still, where you don't have all those new things that is in the new Korean cars. So for example, preheating without being plugged in still doesn't work in the GT. In the new software it does work. So when you do scheduled preheating, that's important. With the app it works all the time, but scheduled preheating in any Kia or Hyundai until the new software doesn't work when you don't have the car plugged in. That's just stupid. I don't get it. Is the Hyundai Ioniq 5N a similar setup to the Kia EV6? I get confused about availability when they announced so far in advance. No, I think that the Ioniq 5N with the gear shift and with motor sound is way more designed for race people, racing and normal ice car lovers and stuff like this. In the Kia EV6 is just a more powerful, sportier version of the normal EV6. So the GT is a sportier version. So I don't think that they share too much. And I would prefer the GT over the Ioniq 5. I have no interest in the Ioniq 5N, I have to say. That's a car I don't get. Some people will like it, but I don't think they will sell too many. Yes, and I drove it on a range test. If you have seen my range test, the test showed 274 kilometers at 130 kilometers an hour in the winter with 21-inch winter tires with the heat on. And I did the same test with the normal all-wheel drive in the summer with 20-inch wheels and the AC on, and I got 300 kilometers. The test back in the day, because I had a higher average speed, let's say in a normal setting it would have been 320 kilometers, and let's say the GT in the summer could get 300, 310. So they're very, very similar. So I like that a lot. It's basically the same car, just with more power and more things you can switch off to remove some of the gimmick. Hello from France, hello from Bavaria. And so that was a lot of fun. Those 2 days, I drove a bit cornering and used the power a bit. Again, I'm not a race car driver, so I wasn't doing something weird with it. I tried to be safe, just accelerate a few times and passed cars and whatnot. And it felt good. It was really nice. Daily use, I would think that the stiffer suspension would not be worth it for me over the normal all-wheel drive. I don't see that the normal all-wheel drive with 325 horsepower is weak. It's still enough power to me, but that's just my opinion. I don't need the extra 250 horsepower for a stiffer suspension. It's just, and the seats I like better in the original one. So for me, it wouldn't be the GT. I would use the normal one, and its price is interesting. The EV6 GT starts at 73,000 euros, but you have almost everything already included. The standard, the color is already standard. Can choose whatever you want. 21-inch wheels are standard. Everything the car has is standard, so head-up display, heat pump, and I don't know, tech upgrade. So you have the sockets and the adapter to have a vehicle to load. Everything is included except for the sunroof and something else. There was 2 things that you can still get. And when I configure a normal EV6 all-wheel drive with all the stuff, I get to 68,000 euros. So it's 5,000 euros more. But you also lose a few things, and this will be in the next video tomorrow, because a few things you cannot have in the GT that you have in the normal version. Comfortable things. It's because of the seat, and trunk space is a bit less because of the motor and everything. Yes, this was the GT. Then on Friday, so 2 days ago, I got the MG4. It arrived here at home. For 1 day or 1 night, we were without a car because Walter is at work. Walter is at work because Walter has summer tires still on, because I didn't think I would need the winter tires, because I thought the car would go back leasing end. Because for leasing end it has to have the summer tires on. They were included in the leasing, and the winter tires are not. But we talk about it, why I still need Walter to drive in a second. That's why I'm sad. So he gets winter tires this Thursday, Walter, because it snowed. Yesterday it started snowing. Yes, manual seats in the EV6 GT, that's true. That was weird to me. What the hell? I was totally confused. It snowed, we have this much snow, and it snowed in 1-2 days or so, very, very fast. Out of nowhere, it snowed, and only through the night, to the day, there was nothing. I already shoveled snow today. I was excited by the MG4 because of the all-wheel drive X-Power option, but the driving position is shorter than my ID3. What does shorter mean? I don't know what you mean. So I got the MG4 on Friday. I drove 7 kilometers or so on Friday. Saturday I took the day off, and then today I finally drove the car for 6.5 hours. Like I said before, I started this morning at 6:30. I connected the app yesterday. I wanted to preheat the car this morning, and I was very sad. Hey, Lars Peter. I was very sad. You cannot preheat the MG4, at least the standard version, and I don't think you can do it with the other versions as well, with scheduled preheating. So you cannot set it that you say tomorrow at 6:30, please be warm. You can't do that, and I don't get why. I don't understand how you can build a car. The same with Kia, Hyundai, why you don't have the plugged-in thing with scheduled climate. Why do you not have scheduled climate in an electric car? I can preheat the car with the app. I have the app here. It looks okay. There's a lot of info here that's interesting. Legroom is less in the MG4 than ID3. I'm not 193 centimeters tall. But the important question is, did they update the beeps? In the GT, or are we talking the MG4? MG4 didn't beep at all. I think only when you turn it on, when there's a warning message. That's the app for the MG4. It doesn't even show me the range right now, but it shows me 54%. Yeah, that's another thing. I plugged it in this when I came home, and I set the charging limit in here to 50%, and it charged to 54%. And then when I went back in, it says now it's at 80%. So I don't know why there is a charge limit that I can set only in the app, not in the car, by the way. When it doesn't use it. So there's no scheduled climate in here. There's scheduled battery heating, and there's battery heating that you can start right away. There's scheduled charging at a special time, and it says it is recommended to schedule battery heating 1.5 hours before use the car. Is that English? Before use the car? That sounds weird. What I love is I can have a special thing, 125 kilometers, by the way. I have range at 54%. The vehicle status is awesome because it shows me a lot of data. It shows me the interior temperature of the car, that it's all locked and whatnot, that the tire pressure, the voltage of the 12-volt battery, interior temperature and outside temperature. That's interesting. You can lock and unlock with the app. That's nice. What's annoying is you can preheat with the app the car, but only for 10 minutes. This morning, the app shows the car has 3 degrees interior temperature. I did the preheating for 10 minutes, then it was 11 degrees. I tried to preheat again, but it says I have sent too many requests to the car. You have to unlock the car to use the app again. But I did other stuff as well. I did the battery preheating and I don't know what. And that's just annoying. So I went into a half-cold car. Another thing that's weird, well, I wouldn't say weird, it's just different than to other cars. Interesting is when you get into the MG4, it's not on right away. You sit down and then everything turns on, but it could be a coincidence that it takes a bit till everything turns on because the seat doesn't do anything. When you get out. So when you are in the car, have the climate on, the wipers on, and music on, you stop, put it in park, and you get out of the car. Everything stays on. The heat stays on, the radio stays on, the music and the wiper stays on. It doesn't turn off until you lock the car. So for me, that's a bit of a waste sometimes. I'm sure you can do it in a different way that I don't know yet. But sometimes I get out of the car, it's still unlocked because I get stuff out of the trunk that takes 1, 2, 3 minutes. And in those 3 minutes, it's still using the climate if I don't turn it off manually. Maybe because of BMS goes over unbalanced. I think this is because the app and the car are just not doing the same thing. If I set this charge limit to 50%, the car is then saying, nah, we're not doing 50%, we're doing 80. I think it's that. I think the communication is not very, very amazing. Today, the drive with the car was, overall, the MG4, I have to say, drives great. It's a great suspension. The steering is amazing. It's quiet in the car at 130. It's stable. The power, I don't even know what the power of the 50 kilowatt is. Is it 120 kilowatt or something? I don't even remember. Let's look it up. EV database. Come on. Such a slow website. MG4. Where is it? 51 kilowatt hours. Has 170 horsepower, 125 kilowatt. It feels sporty. It feels good in corners. I did a bit of a sporty ride today as well. It felt good. I really like the driving of the MG4. It's It's really good. It doesn't have to hide. The instrument cluster is okay, shows most of the information that you need, or some things even better than other cars. You have 3 trips, they're fine. The seat is comfortable, the space is fine. We don't have a frunk, but the trunk is enough space. You have enough space for me, with my 180 centimeters, enough space in the rear seats. You have a USB-A, USB-C, and in the rear another USB-A plug. The car has Android Auto. But now let's come to the things that are missing. This is the standard version. This is the lowest spec you can get, the MG4. It doesn't have navigation, so you cannot search for a charging station. Today everything I had to do with Android Auto and searched by myself. Of course you don't... Oh, Edward, did I have to press something? It says pause. I'm sorry. It doesn't have a rear view camera, it doesn't have a rain sensor, it doesn't have parking sensors in the front, the rear view mirror doesn't darken itself when there's light, you have to do it manually. No electric seats, like I said, there's no middle armrest for the rear, there's no light in the rear, there's only one light here in the front above the 2 passengers in the front, and in the rear there's no light, so the people in the rear, when you turn on the light, they can't see anything. So it's a very dark car, very Tesla-like. The old Model 3s were so dark. It takes an hour for the pigeon to take the preheat message to the car, then 30 minutes to heat. And where was I? Yes, the consumption on the drive this morning was really high. I drove 130. Car told me it has 330 kilometers of range, and the person who came on the highway, so I thought it should be highway range. I doubted it would be 300, but I would have said 200 or so. But I managed from 100 to 17%, 140 kilometers, 145 or so. When I drove 130, my consumption was above 280 watt-hours per kilometer. It was in the morning, it was a bit wet. It was minus 1.5 degrees. I had the heat on and it was still cold in the car. I had to put the heat to 25 degrees and it was still cold in the car. So it didn't feel like 25 degrees. It was just, thanks for explaining this, Chris. Helps explain price difference or make me feel better about my ID3. No, it's just somewhere that there has to be where they save money. This car that I have right now costs in Germany 32.5 thousand euros, and in the color that it has, then 33,000 euros. What else? Yes, then so consumption was a bit high in the beginning. When it got warmer and I turned down the heat in the afternoon, it was then at 250 watt-hours per kilometer. The second leg, so after charging the first time, I drove only 110 because I recognized that charging is also not amazing. And then it would be better if I would drive slower. It would take longer to drive fast and charge more. And because the spec is that it can charge with 90 kilowatt, my peak that I saw today was 70 kilowatt, but it charged with around 60 kilowatt from 17 to 60 or 65%. The second time it was exactly the same. The third time I charged, I drove 100, before that I drove 130 on the highway and then a bit of a sportier drive on the country road. And then I only got 40 kilowatt. And I don't know if this was rapid gate. I didn't think that would happen at 2 degrees or 3 degrees outside temperature. But I also never heard a fan, which is weird in the MG4. When charging, and again, I don't think that the battery was cold because I was driving sporty, but I plugged in at 17% and only got 44 kilowatt and I charged to 55 or something. Then I left. I said, I'm not charging that much with 44 kilowatt. What is this? So charging was bad. At home, charging is horrible. I looked it up. The MG4 standard should have 6.6 kilowatt. Maybe this is just on one phase, 32 amp, because when I plug it into the garage, I only get 3 kilowatts of charging. So not 11 like my ID3 over 3 phase. I only get 3 kilowatt charging, and it took, I don't know, 2-3 hours from 30 to 50% of something. Oh my god. Hi Chris, I wonder if some of the limitations are due to it being a LFP battery in the base model MG4. That could also be. I'm not an expert in those batteries. I'm guessing this is the first LFP. Did the Model Y from China also has LFP? But I never drove LFP in the winter. Maybe it's... Oh, yes, I did. I drove the Model Y in winter. Yes. Where was I? So charging at home is horrible. I charged it to 50% because I want to get to work tomorrow and preheat the car in the morning without stress. So the car is warm, get to work and then charge it at work DC to 100%, so I have it. Wow, 3 kilowatt, the same as Shuko. Something like that, yeah. That's not nice. The nice thing is the car shows the kilowatt that you're charging. It has a decharging option. I don't know what that is. It has nice info when it comes to charging in there. That's nice. It shows in the app how, charging power, and even not 3, it's a 3.02 or something. That's nice. Yes, sound system is okay. The adjusting of the sound to speed is not working very nicely. On the way, in the beginning, it snowed a tiny bit, and the adaptive cruise distance thing went out. So I stopped and scratched away the ice, but it still wouldn't work. And then when I stopped charging, I tried locking the car so that the car turns off and unlocking, and then it worked again. I assume MG haven't figured out LFP yet. It also took Tesla 1 winter to fix LFP. But the cars are around for already a year in the winter. I don't know what I did wrong or what happened, but again, after third charge, I only got 40 kilowatt, and at home I get 3 kilowatt AC charging. It's just in the first 2 charges I had 69 and then 63 or so. Decharging is for vehicle to load. Thank you very much. That makes sense. That makes way more sense. I thought, why would you decharge something? Yeah, I get it. That's a good point. Yes, now we get to the worst thing of this car. That's important to know. And this is where I get why this car is cheap, and why other cars are more expensive. And for the people who don't need that, totally fine. For me, this is just such a no-go where I'm saying, what the hell is this? So number one is the cruise control. You can set it totally normal. It's easy. You have 3 distances. The long distance, the farthest distance is still a bit too close to me. It reacts very unsmooth. It doesn't matter what drive mode you're in. You have a lot of drive modes, by the way. You have Eco, Normal, Sport, Snow, and Custom. Sorry. Regen, you have a 1-pedal drive mode where you have a lot of regen, but it turns off every time you turn off the car. When you start driving again, so when you put it into park and then drive, you have to turn off the lane assist, and you have to turn on 1-pedal driving if you like that every time. Then for whatever reason, come back to the cruise control, for whatever reason, when you are in the climate and you change the temperature, AC automatically turns on. That's freaking annoying. So when you are on 22 degrees and you put it to 23, AC turns on. You have to manually turn it off. When you put it back to the 22, again, it's on. I don't know why, whoever thought of something like this. When I got the car and I turned AC off, it fogged up in 2 seconds. I noticed that whoever drove the car to me drove it with recirculation off, so or on, so that no fresh air from outside came in. So I turned that on and had the windows open, AC on, and then at some point I could drive without the AC on. That was nice. We recharged at home on 13 amp, 10 amp continuous overnight, plug-in around 22 using home battery, then night rate. That's awesome. Cannot have 3 kilowatt. It's never been a problem in almost 3 years. 21. Cool. But how far with 10 amps on one phase or on 3 phase? On one phase you get then 2.2 kilowatt, right? Something like that. Yes, lane assist. Some people complain about the lane assist. It's the same as in other cars. It beeps and it pulls you back maybe a bit more dramatically than in other cars, but I turn it off anyways. But cruise control, it's very unsmooth when it comes to what's the point of turning off AC in the winter? You save power because the AC takes another bit of power. It can take up to 1 kilowatt more because it does something, otherwise it wouldn't defog your window. I have it always off. With a cooling fan on the plug I can get 3 kilowatt. It's cute. Where was I? Yeah, cruise control. Cruise control, like I said, is a bit unsmooth. What happens is when you get close to a car that is driving slower on the highway, it just slows down a tiny bit. So when I have it set to 110, it slows down to 108. And then at some point it slows down dramatically. So it's not a smooth, oh, I'm slowing down. It's a bit full. And then overall the behavior, you always feel a tiny bit of a movement. It's not the worst. It's still okay, the cruise control. The worst is the MG Pilot. I can't remember that in MG5, in the Marvel R or in the ZS EV this was so bad. I used it today 4 or 5 times to test it if it's maybe the situation that I'm in, but it was the worst self-driving experience I ever had. It felt so unsafe. I was scared for my life. This is oh my God, horrible. So I turned it on and instantly all it does is this. The whole time, and driving at 110 or so, you feel it. You feel it like this. And then sometimes it does it even more. And it didn't hold it in the middle, and I thought in the beginning, okay, it's dark and it's snowing a bit, maybe it's dead. Then it was a bit bright, snowing stopped, it still did it. Then I thought maybe it's the sun, but I did it 4 or 5 times and every time it did the exact the same. I turned it on and it instantly did this. And then sometimes it does it even more. I had to hold the steering wheel and fight against it to keep it in the middle. It was the complete opposite of I want from self-steering. It didn't help me. It was fighting against me. That was horrible. I would never use that. I don't know if it's this car. I cannot remember that. Can't remember that in the other MG5s and so on what I said it was that bad. I remember that it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't that horrible. Today I felt scared with that thing. I had to turn it on because it was going more into the lines that I would do, and it's weird. So going from the middle to a line and stuff, and no, I'm not doing this. So no, I didn't use that. That wasn't nice. But that's MG4. Let's talk about why I'm sad. This guy is a bit sad. That self-steer. Well, roller coaster, not like that, but no up and down safely. This guy is sad. On Thursday, I got the news that my ID7 is delayed. I was hoping it would come very, very soon. But it's not gonna come. It's this soon. It's gonna be 1 week or 2 weeks delayed. It is in construction, which is weird because I heard this already a few more times. Zoe is less sophisticated. It shakes the steering wheel. Very disconcerting when there are complicated lines. I soon turn it off and never use it now. The ZE50 was okay as far as I remember. The versions before I can't remember. It's been a long time. So the 20 or the 40, but the 50, I think had okay self-steering. I think so. It's been also 3 years or so that I drove it. Yes, so ID7 is delayed by 1 to 2 weeks. I still don't have an exact date. They've told me a few times that the car is in in construction or was planned to be, and they told me on Thursday that it's getting the paint. And I don't know how long that means till it's finished. It's not going to be on the same day, or it's not like you start a car and it's done on the same day. It has to go through stages and quality check. And I will be called by a very, very nice person that I was very mean to on that day when I got the news. He will call me when the car has passed the quality check, and then we can do all the stuff. Did you get the VIN number? No! And it's VIN! VIN is already number. Ha ha! No, I don't have a VIN. Because the car gets the VIN on stage 5 or 6. There are 8 stages or 7 stages. And it doesn't have it just before when the chassis is built. It comes later. The motor shouldn't be a problem, he said. We'll see. What do you think about Hyundai Ioniq 6 rear-wheel drive against Tesla rear-wheel drive and Polestar 2 rear-wheel drive? What is Tesla, Model Y or Model 3? I know. It is the same build week and status process like the ID3. Mine was a year. Is it in the same build week and status process like the ID3? I don't know. Your delays are unacceptable, Chris. It's not reflecting well upon the manufacturers. No, they are acceptable because I ordered just a few weeks ago. Some other people I've heard, I'm on a ID7 forum where people have ordered in September when the car was available to be configured, and they have a delivery date for March, so I'm pretty okay. I'm very happy. It should be this year. I don't know when. I was hoping very soon, but it's not gonna be that very soon, and it's okay. I'm gonna survive. But Chris is sad. Like I said, I have to change Walter because I need Walter. Since I don't have a press car, I need to drive with Walter a bit. Don't be sad. Other kids have to wait to find the new toy under the Christmas tree. That's true. Hope you get it for Christmas. I hope so too. We'll see. Like I said, it's in construction, and when it's done, hopefully at some point this week, and if there are no problems and everything works, I hope so. And then we can do the whole leasing thing and money thing, and I get it registered and everything, and then we can plan when to get it, because it also has to be delivered from Emden to Wolfsburg too. It's not done in a day, so we'll see. I have 2 dates that maybe are possible. We'll see. I don't know. I hope so. I hope it's not... What week do we have now? 48? Week for tomorrow, it's week 48. Yes, I will get 2 press cars, but I got the email this week. I asked Volvo for the new Volvo XC40 and C40 with the new motors, and they said, of course. And one I will be getting in the mid of December, December 15th. And since it's Christmas, I will have it till January 7th or so. Very, very long. So for 3 weeks, which is totally unusual. Normally it's 2 weeks maximum, but I guess no company is getting the car over Christmas. So we'll see. At least once it's built, transportation won't be too long. We'll see. Hope you get it before Christmas. Really, Dad. Fingers, legs, and eyes crossed. Thank you. And then afterwards, right afterwards, I get the Volvo C40 rear-wheel drive, so the XC40 will be the all-wheel drive. And then at the end of January, I get an Ioniq 6 rear wheel drive, and I'm excited about that because I want to drive not a race. Well, maybe we do a race, but a consumption test and then a race with the ID7, of course. That will be very interesting. ID7 will lose because Ioniq 6 is the master of long distance, especially when the Ioniq 6 that will come will have a heat pump and my ID7 won't have a heat pump. Should be interesting how long it takes Volkswagen to make an EV7 from zero. ID7, you mean? So that will be very interesting. I still need someone to drive with me. Who wants to drive with me? I need someone who's driving the ID7 and I drive the Ioniq 5 or the other way around. Who's in the area and wants to do that at the end of January? First I asked if Jürgen Stangl wants to do that in Landsberg am Lech, and then Hyundai, when I was with him talking about it, he was all excited. Hyundai offered me the Ioniq 6, and then I was like, oh, I'm sorry, it's a bit easier for me. I don't have to drive 250 kilometers to you to do the test. I can do it at home. That's way more convenient, I'm sorry. But I don't have a driver. Maybe Cindy will drive with me, we'll see, but I doubt it. She would never do a long distance trip with me, but it would be amazing. I should ask Rami. Is Rami here? He's always doing stuff like this. Maybe he wants to do that. That would be awesome. I have to ask him. He's always up for stuff like this. Good evening. In June, I paid a deposit of 13,000 euros and my dealer is still telling me they are not able to put an order in for an ID5 GTX or an ID7 rear hand drive market Zypern. Yeah, rear hand drive, I don't think that they're doing this yet with the new motors, new models. I think so. Just got a good offer for Ioniq 6 and thinking about it in relation to Tesla 3 and Polestar 2. I kind of made my mind that Ioniq 6 is the best option. However, interesting your opinion. Yes, so Model 3 is way more sporty. Polestar 2, what's the positive for the Polestar 2? Has Android Automotive, which is awesome. Ioniq 6, navigation is not amazing. Software is not the best. It has a few annoying features that you have to turn off every time you get into the car. So speed warning, but I don't know if Cypress is included in this. Maybe you don't have that. Oh no, that was a different. Sorry, that was a different comment. That's not you. So Ioniq, did you drive the Ioniq 6 yet? And if you like it, then get this. It will be the least consumption, the best charging one, the best for long distance driving. My problem with the Ioniq 6 is always the look. If I find it so extremely fugly and I can't deal with it. I don't care that it has less consumption and charges so amazing. It just looks horrible, especially the rear. That's just my opinion. Will you do a Sunday live stream when you have the ID7? I have planned that when I get the ID7, I want to do a live stream, a short one, when I get the delivery. And then a bit of a longer one on the drive home, but not the whole drive home. I would say from Wolfsburg home, that's 7 hours or so, one leg. So at one charger, I will film a live stream and then live stream the drive to the next charger or so. That will be it. I don't know when I get the car. I hope it's on a Friday. So then on Saturday, Sunday, I can do a bit of tests. I want to do, of course, range tests at 110, 130, charging tests, and then 1,000 kilometer test at 130 kilometers an hour. I won't be doing the full speed yet, but in the winter. That will be interesting to me. Then I want to do a lot of tests. I would love to do a test. Maybe I do that now since Walter will get the winter tires. Drive ID3, ID7 with each other. which has the Ioniq 6 has small trunk opening. That's true. That's true. The trunk is not the best, the biggest. Also, the space in the rear is not the best. That's true. When you need trunk space or space overall, Model 3 is amazing. I haven't driven the new Model 3. I wanted 3 weeks off from press cars because I had press cars all the time. I could have done it in the weeks. Maybe I do it the next week or so, that I ask if I can have a Model 3 in Regensburg. Maybe I should do that. That's true. Next weekend. On Saturday or Friday. Or Friday, MG4 will be picked up. Remember to like the streams, folks. We had 84 likes. Can we do another like game? 107 people are here. Can we do this? Like game means that you take your phone, your tablet, or whatever you watch the stream, and then you press the like when I count it down from 3 to 0. So let's do it all together. We're at 85. I will like it too on my phone. And then we all do it all at the same time. Isn't that fun? I know you find it annoying, but likes also help the channel. That's just how it is. So let's do this. 3, 2, 1, and like. We're at 85. Where is my stream? There it is. I have to like it too. 110 people. Ooh, I have the sound on. Like. Let's go to a different channel. I have 4 channels. I could do it all. Oh, I pressed the wrong one. Where is Switch account? We're at 88. Like. Here it says 91. Yeah, here too. 91. Can we get to 100? Where's my other one? There's one. 103. Ooh, I don't have to do anything. It's already over. You all did it. You're way too fast for me. I was slow. Yeah, it was nice. Thank you very much, Dad. We did it. Yes, another week. I just have to be sad to get 106 likes. Evening film can press like button twice, unfortunately. That's correct. So if you collect the ID7 in the winter in Germany, does it have winter tires or a space set of wheels? Yes, it will have the winter tires on because I ordered winter tires with my ID7. If I wouldn't have done that, I would get it with summer tires. Then it's my problem. But I ordered winter tires with it because I learned from my ID3. When I ordered the ID3, I didn't order winter tires. They weren't available at that time. And then when I wanted to get them, they were hard to get, and I couldn't get the ones that I wanted, and I had to pay them full price. And with the ID7, they're in the leasing, so I'm giving them back. That's also amazing. I don't have to think about selling them. With the ID3, I have to think about selling my ID3 winter tires, and then I feel mad that I paid 1,800 euros for them, and I will get, I don't know, 400 or something. That's always annoying. That always, I always like to pay every month a bit, and then not a lot a year. I don't know. That's how I am. Even my insurance for Walter, it's always once a month. I don't like it one time. It's a lot. It's just, even though over the year I pay more. It's just how it is. So I will get it with winter tires, and the summer tires will be sent to the dealer in Passau. They already know about it. It's all fine. The main problem with Model 3 for me are the lack of an instrument cluster, and the new one also has no blinker and wiper stocks. That is also a big problem to me. A lot of people are fine with it, and I'm happy for you, but for me, that's just something that I need. Or even a good wiper. I drove Model 3, Model Y for a long time. Long time. It's not true. I did a lot of tests on the weekend and so, and the wipers are just not good. The rain sensor and everything, and every car can do that, and so I'm just so disappointed that the tech company cannot have good wipers or good wiper control. That for them it's more important that I have a weird feature that, yeah, it's very clever, and camp mode or whatever. How many people do camp in a car, but you cannot have a stock to use a blinker or to put your gear in, or to use the wiper. I don't get this. But everyone's different. Everyone likes something different. The lack of is easy to get used to. It takes only a few days. No, I like I said, I drove Model 3 1,000 kilometers, Model Y for a weekend, and the looking down to the right, I notice it, and I just like to have that. And I drove the Model S, and it was just amazing. It only has that stupid, still the blinker and the gear change on the screen. But other than that, Model S was amazing. Very good points with tire availability. Wasn't sure what to do when I had the option for a higher car last month. Does the Volkswagen ID7 use 235mm front and 255mm rear tires like ID4? We can look that up. Where am I? Here. We can look that up. That's very, very easy. I can't even write it. Configurator. Bam. Electro. We go to the ID7. Next. Next. The tires are 235 in the front, 255 in the rear. Summer. And the winter tires are the same. And I even get the exact same rims. They're not the same. The winter tires can withstand the salt and the summer tires don't. But they have the same look. I have the same tire dimensions on both. Was it the 45? 50 and the 45? Yeah. So my ID7 will look exactly the same in the winter than in the summer. I had a test drive in a Fisker Ocean One today and an ET5 Touring. Cool. And an Audi 6 and a Seeker X. It was fun. It's a lot of cars. Yeah, I asked Seeker for a car and they said we're not bringing one to Germany, or not for you. No radars, bad wipers, and no matrix light is the biggest letdown for me. No radars? The matrix headlight is something nice, but if the normal lights are good and you have good auto high beams, I'm fine with it. Another advert for me. Oh, have you heard about the Tesla strike in Sweden? No, haven't heard that at all. What are they striking about? Money or safety? Or how they are treated? I have no idea. No, I haven't read anything in the news. That's weird. Yeah, what's coming this week? I will. Tomorrow will be another EV6 GT video. Then I have to edit the video I did today. That will be on Wednesday or Thursday. It's gonna be a longer video. I filmed a lot today because I did my endurance test, the 450 kilometers, and when I was charging, I did my normal test of space, looking at the car, looking at the software, talking what I like. While driving, I did how the driving is. Union power is what strike is about. So they don't want union, Tesla, and the people want union. Bad Tesla, don't do that. Let them have a union unless the union is just weird and demands something that's totally out of this world. Did I miss all the fun or sadness? Yes, you did. So this video is coming on Wednesday or Thursday, and I will do another 1 or 2 tests with the MG4, but normal range test, 130, 110. I'm not sure about the 110, but 130 for sure. By the way, I did the light thing. I tried the lights this morning of the MG4, and it's totally fine. High beams are not amazing, but it's okay for that price. The auto high beams I tried to test, but it didn't work. So I could put it in auto high beam, and then it showed me that they're on. So it says high beams with an auto, and then. But when I was just driving off, so it was ready like BMW has too. And then I turned it off, and then I couldn't get it back on. I had to turn off the car at some point to get it back in. How do you compare the EV6 GT with the Model 3 Performance? EV6 GT is more comfortable. I have never driven a Model 3 Performance. I have driven a Model Y Performance. Model Y Performance is not that performance. I drove it, and a normal Model 3 feels more powerful than a Model Y Performance. Normal Model Y is a bit, it's okay. It's still powerful, but Model 3, because of the shape, always feels way more powerful. And I never drove Model 3 Performance, so I don't know. Volkswagen ID4 has 3 radars, 1 in front, 2 in the rear corners for crossing, traffic detection, and traffic in blind angle detection. Really? I have no idea. How much will your ID.3.7 lease be? That's my problem. You can look it up. Just go to the German website and put in my data. Even the new BMW motorcycle has radar front and back, not electric. And I saw Robert Levelin. You saw Robert today? Where? In your area? Why? What does he do? Filming or private? You almost drive like Kyle do when you drive the Kia EV6 GT. It looked good on the video. I was very surprised. It wasn't very sporty. So when I look at Kyle is squeaking tires and everything. I don't do that. You never heard one tire squeak. And in the EV6 GT, to get spinning wheels in a corner or something, that's very, very easy. Just have it in GT mode. I hope that they fix that software bug soon. High beam is essential. No, the high beams work. Just the auto high beam. Fully charged live event in Amsterdam. Cool. Fully charged show is in Amsterdam this weekend. Yeah, then that's why you drove all of those cars, but just for a few minutes each one, huh? I could have done that in Munich at the IAA, and next time when there is the IAA, the International Car Show in Munich, I will take more days to film that, not just one day. Because one day I want to look at all the cars, second day maybe again, maybe see other cars and film something special, and then I want a third day maybe even to test drive all of those cars, because you can test drive, you can set it that you are a reporter and you get a car. It's within Munich, so it's not amazing, but you can test it for half an hour or an hour. That's just awesome. No, high beams work, they're okay. The auto high beam just was on right away when you start the car, and I hate that. I want to turn it on. So I don't want to drive off, and auto high beams are just on. Even in a little town when there's no car, I don't like that. You need more days for being interviewed at IAA. Yeah, 50 to 20 minute test indeed. Yeah, that's not a lot. Okay, I want to say goodbye. If I get good news or if I get a date or so, there will be a video. If not, there won't be a video about the ID7. So you will see. I wish you all a happy week. Yes. Hopefully not too cold and safe and everything. And it's now 15.2 degrees in here, but with the rope it's pretty okay. I'm fine here. You all take care. I will go to bed soon. I'm tired. This was a hard day. I got up at 5 and then drove the car MG4 for a while. I figured out how MEB platform auto high beam worked a week ago, and I think it worked perfect. On Tesla, not so good. I haven't on Tesla. I think it works fine. Just all. And on MEB or Matrix, it's just a select thing. Have a good week. It came in very end, but came anyways. Thank you very much. That's what she said. Okay, I'm gonna go. See you next week, hopefully. Bye.